Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is finally going to be my London bookstore book haul, plus a few extra books that I've gotten since that I just thought I'm already doing a book haul, might as well show off. I will say though, I am still sick with COVID, so I may be a little like out of it. It's very possible there could be lots of moments where I kind of just like pause for a second while I'm talking and you guys might be like, what was that weird pause? Yeah, I can't really tell you, but I don't know what the weird pause was either. It's my brain leaving my body apparently. But I did feel well enough to sit down in front of the camera and talk, so I thought I might as well film now so that I hopefully can edit it and get it posted soon. But I am gonna try my hardest to kind of go through this quickly, but also give some details. So again, I'm sorry if I seem a little off or weird. I'm just sick. Bear with me. Also, if I sound weird, I'm sorry. Again, sick. Just bear with me. But like I said, that is today's video is the book haul from the London bookstores that I went to when I was in London. Okay. Great start to the video. We're just gonna move on to the books now. So the first bookstore that I went to was Daunt Books. So it was the first day I was there? I think it was the first day that I was there. We went to a place called Wallace House, which basically just has a bunch of like armor and weaponry from way back when. And this bookstore, Daunt Books, was nearby. So we stopped by because I was like, I want to go. And all the other bookstores I wanted to go to were kind of like not close to it, so we were like, this one's kind of out of the way, let's just go now. I want to tell you that I found, I think, the prettiest book that I've ever owned, and that's saying a lot because like I have a lot of pretty books going on over here, but truly I don't think there's a prettier book in my room. I really thought about it, and there are some close ones, but this one's truly just beautiful, and that is Wuthering Heights. So obviously this is a classic. And I have been wanting to read romance classics specifically for a while now, and even if I didn't read them, I wanted to have them. And I kept seeing like the ones that I see at Barnes and Noble here at these bookstores, and I was like, there's no need to get those, I can buy them in the States, like blah blah whatever. Then I found this one. I have never seen this in the States. I didn't even, like, I went to the classics section at Daunt Books because I found this in the YA section for some reason, and this was the only copy they had of it. Like, I absolutely needed this, so I bought it, clearly. But I mean, it is just, like, gorgeous. Like, come on. The blue and the purple with the gold, like, it is just absolutely gorgeous, so I needed to pick it up. It's got, like, this is the, like, front page type thing. I don't know exactly what the actual name of these, I'm so sorry, I had a hiccup there, like what this is actually called, but I kind of just call it the front pages. But I just think that it was beautiful and I needed it, so this is what I got. I do have a bookmark from Daunt Books that kind of shows one of the like corners of the shop, what it looks like. Just because I didn't have a lot of film in my London vlog if you watched, so I just thought I'd show that. But yeah, I mean, it's literally just a bookmark with like information about it and things like that. I guess here's the address if any of you guys are ever, oh come on, if you're ever in London and you want to stop by, which I recommend you do because it's an amazing bookstore. That was the address so that you guys can go check it out. But literally I found all of these bookstores that we went to by going into TikTok, going into the search engine and typing bookstores to visit in London. And I created my little weekly agenda thing. So, very easy to find these bookstores and get to them. None of them were super hard to find. So if you are ever going to London and want to visit these bookstores, that's how I would recommend you finding them. Or you can take the names because I'm giving you them and look them up in like, you know, Daunt Books London, and it should pop up like first thing. So yeah. Okay, so the next bookstore that we went to was Hatchard's, which is basically like the sister location to Waterstones. And let me tell you, that place was beautiful. I loved, like, the aesthetic of the bookstore, and, like, I liked the way certain things were laid out. I think there were other things I would have preferred to be laid out slightly differently. Like, they didn't have a romance section, they just had a fiction section, which was huge, but then it made it harder to find the specific books that I was looking for, because I wasn't going to these bookstores looking necessarily for new books that I haven't seen before. Most of this trip was getting books that I either already own and wanted a different cover of, or I like the UK covers better than the US covers, so I wanted those. So like I said, it just made it a little harder to find things, but one of the things that I was looking for was Normal People by Sally Rooney. So I actually ended up getting 2 copies of this because one of my friends from school, also, this is literally kind of how we bonded and became friends, is we both really liked Normal People. So I've seen the show and have read part of the book. She's read all of the book and has seen part of the show. So we're like polar opposites in that sense. But we both really, really like the storyline in general. And I really, really wanted the UK cover because it's one of those few books where I like both the US and the UK cover. Like, I don't really like one more than the other. So I just felt like for me, this was kind of the perfect mix. So I did get 2 copies, one for me and one for my friend. But this was the only book I actually ended up finding at Hatchard's that was like specifically the books I was looking for. There were other books I saw that I kind of wanted, like, y'all, if you watched my London vlog, I know it's in there. There were hardback covers of the Heartstopper graphic novels, volumes 1 through 4, and they looked so pretty. Like, okay, I have this one from Barnes & Noble. This is similar to what they looked like, volumes 1 through 4, but they're just like different in the UK and like better because, like, hello, Alice Osman's in the UK, of course, like, they're gonna be better there than here. And I really, really wanted them, but again, hardcover, and I had to travel with all these back. Which, let me tell you, my suitcase packed to the brim with books, and surprisingly they all made it with no, like, damage, which was insane to me. But that's probably because I was so anal. I was like, okay, we're wrapping every book in like 3 shirts and packing it like it was crazy, but that's besides the point. But it was just things like that where I'm like, it's probably better if I really, really want them to just buy them at a later date and just pay the international shipping than to buy them now and like make my bag way too much, because paperbacks are much lighter than hardbacks. So I did have to be careful with that as well. And I bought a shit ton of books. Like, I need to be on a book buying ban now. Am I? No, but I should be. And I think once I go to school, I will be. But for now, we're going to keep making irresponsible financial decisions, because why not? You're only 19 once, might as well. But yeah, I only got 1 book. I technically got 2 copies of it, but I only got that 1 book from Hatchard's, even though it was a very beautiful bookstore and I wanted more. It was the only one that I ended up getting there. So okay, so now we're moving on to where I got most of my books, which was Waterstones. When I tell you, I've never been so stressed in my entire life. Like, okay, that's a lie. College was more stressful than that. But like, I walked into that bookstore and at first it was okay. There was people, but it wasn't horrible. But like, you just got deeper into the store and like higher through the levels and just more and more people. And it was just quite stressful, but I would do it over and over again because they had literally like any book you could possibly want. It was crazy. I didn't even end up going through all, I think, 6 floors that they have, because once I found my sections, I had already had so many books in my basket and my arm literally was gonna fall off because it was so heavy. So I just needed to check out and go, and my parents and I, like, we were hungry, we wanted food. Like, I saw everything I needed to see. Obviously, if I ever go back to London, I will 100% be going back to Waterstones to look at the rest of it. But these are the, like, basically rest of the books from my trip I got at Waterstones. So I know I just told you guys, like, oh, I didn't want to get hardcovers, they're expensive, like, they're more expensive and they're harder to, like, travel with because they're heavier, blah, 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 blah. let's pretend I didn't just say that, because, oops. Let's put it this way. Every bookstore I went to, they had this. Every bookstore, they had Ruthless Vows in this cover. And I've loved the UK covers better than the US covers for a while. But I was like, I'm not gonna buy them yet, I'm not gonna buy them. And then of course, oh, well, now we're going to London, I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy them. Like, I had a whole list that I made of like series and standalones and things that I wanted in UK covers. And this was one of them. But all I could find was Ruthless Vows. And I'm like, well, I'm not just gonna get the last one. Like, I haven't even read it yet. So like, what if I hated Ruthless Vows? Like, why would I just get Ruthless Vows? And then finally, we were at Waterstones, and Divine Rivals was there as well. And I loved Divine Rivals. It was such a good book, and I know I've heard some people say that this book was disappointing after reading this book. I have not read it yet, so I'm not going to say that because I don't know. It's not my opinion, at least not yet, or hopefully it won't be. But when they had them both, I was like, oh, this is a sign. So it's the girl who does not believe in signs, but whatever. So I ended up getting both. I just like, I mean, come on, these covers are so much better than the US covers. And then like, come on, tell me this is just not so cute. So yeah, I pulled the plug. I ended up getting those from Waterstones. But they are the only hardcovers I got. My mom actually ended up getting 2 hardcovers as well, which ended up working out perfectly because the suitcase I had, the way I like packed all my books into it, they were good to use as kind of like a base level of books because they're harder, so they're more durable than like, you know, a flimsy paperback that could easily be like ripped and bent. So it was just perfect because it was 4 and then another 4 books and another 4 books and another 4 books. But yeah, those were the first books that I ended up getting at Waterstones. When I saw them, I was like, oh, well, shit, this is a sign. They are going right in my basket. And then I almost thought they didn't have them. I was freaking out. I looked through all the shelves. There was quite a few people in the romance section when I went, so I didn't look at the tables first, which is usually what I do. But like I said, there was a lot of people looking at those at the moment. And I was freaking out because I went through all the shelves and like even looked in places where technically they shouldn't be because like of the way they're organized. And I could not find the UK covers of the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. And I was freaking out because if you can't tell or you don't know, because maybe you're new to my channel, I have an addiction to the Playing for Keeps series by Becca Mack. And so I was like, oh, I want them. Like, they're pretty. I like the covers that I have now, but like these ones were pretty, and I'm pretty sure that the 4th book, at least currently, is only coming out in the UK-ish like cover. I don't know how to describe this. I'm doing such a poor job at this. I'm sorry, my brain hurts. Long story short, I just wanted them, and I was freaking out because I couldn't find them. Finally got to the table, finally found them. So yes, I did end up getting the 3 books that are currently out in the Playing for Keeps series. There is obviously a 4th one coming out, and when it does come out, I do plan on buying it. I will pay my international shipping. It will suck, but I will do it. But I thought it was cheaper if I buy these now and then just pay for 1 book for international shipping. But I will show you each book like separately. So this is the first one. This is Consider Me. And I don't know, I just think like they're pretty, but there was just something that I was just like, I don't hate the US ones either. They're also pretty in their own way, but they're also so different. So I just was like, no, I need them. This is Play With Me, which I low-key think might be my favorite cover. It's my 2nd favorite book, actually, ironically. The books go in order of my favorite. The 1st is my least favorite, the 2nd is my 2nd favorite, and the 3rd is my favorite. Like, I just thought they continuously got better. And then this is Unravel Me, this is the 3rd. But I don't know, I just think like Play With Me, I like the colors and the designs the best. This one's definitely a close second, but like, I don't know, I just think I like the way the colors and stuff look on this one. But I did end up finding them, so I did get them. My poor bank account was probably just having a mental breakdown when I found them. They were probably like, I thought we were getting away. I thought we were gonna survive this, which I think is funny because if I wouldn't have been able to find them in the UK, I would have been buying them online, but whatever. I was just super, super happy to find them, and then here's where the problem comes. There was one book series I had put on my list. Oh, by the way, I am wearing shorts. This looks like I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. You just can't see them. But yeah, I put one book series on my list that I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to find these. Like, just no way. I had been on Waterstone's, like, webpage. Why? I don't know why that was so hard for me to get out, but I was on their website and was looking at the different books to see, like, are there any books that I don't know have a different cover in, like, the UK. So I was, like, looking up a bunch of my favorite books, whatever. When I stumbled across this book. So if you guys don't know, this is the, I don't know, okay. I can't speak. I don't know if there's more coming out in this series, but currently this is the last book that's out in this series. So this is the Magnolia Park series, which I don't know why we call it the Magnolia Park series when it basically goes back and forth between the books being called Magnolia Parks and then something, and Daisy Hates and then something. But whatever, that's besides the point. But I've been really wanting to read this series for a while, but it wasn't on Kindle Unlimited, and then they came out with the new covers in the US, and I did not like them, like, at all. And so I was, like, kind of turned off from wanting to read them because of that. And so when I saw that this one was on there, I was like, oh, I've always liked the original covers better. But I was like, they probably only have this one because it's the most recent. They're probably out of all the other ones. But I was like, well, I'll put it on my list. If they happen to have all of them, I'll get them. They had all of them. I got so lucky when I tell you. I got the last copy of Magnolia Parks Into the Dark and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing, which are the second, like, most recent ones that came out. This is the last one that came out, and this was the one before it. There were still a few copies of the first three, but I mean, I just couldn't help myself. Like, they had it. I had to get them. I'm sorry, the covers are just better. Like, I think they're interesting. I'm not saying that they're, like, all gorgeous. I think some of them are quite interesting. But, I mean, like, I had to get them. I would almost be mad at myself if I didn't. So I spent a pretty penny on these, let me tell you. But I really, really wanted them, and I was kind of like, if I don't buy them here and I buy them online, what if they send me the wrong copies? Because they did have the, like, new ones too. And so I was just, like, freaking out, and I didn't know what to do. So I bought them. But, you know, it's okay, because clearly they're still making them in the UK. So here's my thought process. If she does release more in the series, which I think there's supposed to be 7, I saw somewhere, but I'm not sure if that's true, I should be able to buy them from Waterstone's website, and we should be fine. And if not, well, I don't really care. But yeah, I couldn't not get them. It was just kind of one of those, like, perfect moments where they literally had all of them, and I was like in a row, like, it was calling to me. It was like, Paige, buy me. So yeah, again, I'm not a huge, like, oh my god, it's a sign, but, like, Waterstones was giving me so many signs. So I did stop myself after that, though. I was like, Paige, no more. No, we're not buying any more books on this trip. So I said, that's it, Waterstones, check out. We went, we got food, whatever. We did whatever we did for the rest of the day. You would think, oh, so that's the last book you got in London. No. No. Then, I think 2 days later, or maybe it was the next day, I'm not 100% sure. Really, London's now a blur, because everything's a blur. Because I swear to God, COVID has, like, wiped my memory. I have not been reading because I'm like, I'm not gonna remember. I mean, okay, I already don't remember when I finish a book. Like, literally, you could be like, oh, what was the plotline of this book? And I'd be like, it's a lie, I do remember the plotline of this book. I'm just using that as an example, but that's because that's a 5-star book, so that one does stay. But I went to Foyles, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna look around. I'm not gonna buy anything. Then they had a buy one, get one half off table, where I saw that they had Icebreaker, where in the UK it's a purple spine. It's not the boring white spine that we have here in the US. And if you, again, are new to my channel and have not watched like any of my videos, you may not know, but this is also one of my favorite series. I always forget what it's called because it was one thing when I first started reading and then it changed, so I'm always forgetting. Let's see, does it show up in here? Probably not. Of course it doesn't. Whatever. Anyways, now the Maple Hill series. Duh. It's because you see this used to be what the series was called. Like, it was like University of California Maple Hills series or something like that. Like that's what that stands for, but it was just the UCMH series, and then they just shortened it to Maple Hill series. Anyways, you can tell it was my favorite. But I loved Icebreaker. I thought it was a great book, and I had it in the original published pink spine thing. Then they came out with the traditionally published one, and it had a white spine, and the UK got a purple spine. And I'm sorry, but the purple spine is prettier. And so I really, really wanted it. But when I was at Waterstones, they had it. And, you know, my dad said something that was really smart. Do you need it? And I was like, you know what, Dad, you're right. I'm already getting a 5-book series, a 3-book series, and a duology. You're right, I don't need it. So I put it back. And then Foyles fucked me over by having this also be on that same table with the buy one, get one half off, which is Wildfire's UK cover, which is also slightly different spine. The covers are also slightly different, but like it's really the spines that are more different. And so I was like, well, shit. So of course then I made the bad decision, and I did get them because I do need them. Like, Dad, I love you. I appreciate the, you know, effort you made there, but no, I do need them. So yes, I did get the UK covers, or like the UK editions of Icebreaker and Wildfire. And also, like, that just looks better than the white and pink we have here, in my opinion. But yeah, like I said, I dropped a pretty penny in London. I don't even want to know actually what all of it is in one. Some of these I purchased with no thought. Others had some thought put into them, but I really needed them. I know some of you are gonna be like, you don't, but I do. So those are all the books that I got while I was in London. Okay, so now we are going to move on to the 3 books that I either bought or pre-ordered and then were delivered since being back from London. So the first book is Loved by You by N.L. Moore. So I actually received this book as an ARC, like a virtual ARC, and I read it on my Kindle, and I absolutely adored this book. I loved it so much. I did read it last month in June, so that's probably why you guys haven't really seen this. So this is kind of a preview of what you'll see, but I absolutely adored this book, and so of course I needed it in the physical copy. So I immediately went on Amazon and bought it when I finished, and then it came in, and yeah, here it is. I just think it's a really, like, it's a beautiful story, but also I feel like, how do I explain this? I think the characters are really what did it for me. I really enjoyed, like, their personalities and how they, like, all interacted with one another. So yeah, Loved by You by N.L. Moore is the first book that I received. And then another pre-order came in, and that would be Dishonestly Yours by Krista and Becca Ritchie. So I absolutely, obviously, have been raving about wanting to get this book. I loved the Addicted Calloway Sister series. And so when they were coming out with a new series, I was super, super excited, especially because now I would be able to read it as they were coming out, where with the Addicted Calloway Sister series, I didn't do that. So I'm very, very excited for this. I have not started reading it yet because, again, I'm sick and I actually would like to comprehend what I'm reading. But I do plan on making this one of my next reads, I think, because I really, really do want to read it. And currently this is the only copy I have of this, but I do have a signed copy coming in the mail. I pre-ordered this like immediately when it came out, because this is what I do. An author that I like is like, oh, I have a new book coming out, you should pre-order it. And I'm like, oh my god, wait, what a good idea. And then like 2 months later, they're like, oh, well, by the way, if you pre-order with this person or this bookstore, we'll send you a signed copy. It happened to me with another book that I want, which is Daydream. And so I will have 2 copies of Dishonestly Yours, one that I just got from Barnes and one that I got from The Ripped Bodice, which is going to be signed by Krista Beccarici. And then for Daydream, I'll have a Barnes & Noble edition and then a signed copy from Hannah Grace from The Ripped Bodice. But it has not come in yet because obviously it takes them time to sign the books, and I think they did the signing there like a few days ago, so like they might not even have started shipping them out yet. Like they're probably working on packaging them all up now. But then another book that I pre-ordered actually came quite early, and I know that a lot of people had the same thing happen, so I'm not like special or anything, but that was Play Along by Liz Tomford. So sorry, when you're watching this video, this book is live, it is out, you can go buy it. But I had ordered it because basically I read, again, I didn't do my reading wrap-ups, you guys don't really know this, but in June I read both The Right Move and Caught Up, which is the 2nd and 3rd book in the series, and this is the 4th book, and I adored them both. Like, Liz Tomford is one of my new favorite authors. I absolutely love her writing. And so I immediately was like, oh, I want this. But I couldn't find a pre-order option. It was like weird. Like I don't know if Amazon was like shitting itself or what, but I just like couldn't find it. So I was like, you know what? I'll just buy it when it comes out. And then she posted something on her story about like pre-orders and things like that. And so then I found the pre-order link and I did, and I got it like 4 days early. But again, I haven't read it yet because I've been sick and I can't focus on anything, including this video, which you can probably all tell, and so I'm sorry. But I was super excited when I got it. I was like, oh my god, it feels like I feel special because I got it early, even though literally everyone and their mother pretty much got it early. But yeah, those were the 3 books that I like pre-ordered that I got really recently. But those were all the books that I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope you are all doing well, because I know I'm not, and it's not fun. But I hope that you guys are all having a great day and a great summer, and I will see you guys for my next video. I don't know what that will be or when that will be, because I don't even know when this one's getting posted. But if you liked today's video, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. A lot of you do not subscribe. You watch, but you don't subscribe. Might as well subscribe. My goal for this year is to hit 100 subscribers, because I hit 50 last year. So I was like, well, if I can hit 100, that would be cool, another 50. And I've been stuck at 67 for like a month. I went up to 68 and I was like, oh my god, and then like an hour later I went back down to 67, so it was some bot, which that's so annoying to me, that there are these bot accounts that will subscribe to you and then YouTube's like, oh, this isn't real, and they'll take it away. And I'm like, well, good, because like I don't need like fake accounts, but like I was also kind of like, oh, that sucks. I finally was like, oh, I'm out of 67. No, you're not. No, you're not. But I am grateful for all 67 of you that do subscribe, and do keep coming back, because obviously if I was not seeing any sort of interest on my videos, I wouldn't really feel the need to continue to post. Obviously I do mainly do this for myself, but obviously when people are also enjoying what you're posting, it makes you want to continue to post things. So I appreciate you all. And like I said, my Macari link is down below, so if you want to go check out any books that I'm selling. I don't have a whole lot on there anymore because most of them have sold, but I might get some more up later. My Instagram and my Goodreads and things like that are down below. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Bye!